Biscuit's Chocolate Passion, a treasury of delectable desserts prepared by 8 of the country's great chefs.
From the inn at Perry Cabin in St. Michael's, Maryland, Vincent Vanhecke uses chocolate and the Scotch-based liqueur Drambuie to flavor a soufflé. Note his use of a panada or thick flour and butter paste to stabilize the soufflé. Buttered ramekins are coated with sugar.
And just roll the sugar around the soufflé mold so that the butter is completely coated with the sugar. As you can see, it's right up to the rim.
Cool the ramekins while the soufflé mixture is prepared.
So the first step for the preparation of the soufflé is to basically make the beurre manier. It's equal quantities of butter and flour. Here the butter is soft. Makes it a lot easier to make it. Put in all the butter and all the flour. And just basically work it until you obtain a smooth paste. It has become nice and smooth now. Okay, just basically leave this to one side. So in a saucepan, put your milk in. Your cut up chocolate. This is a bitter chocolate. And bring this up to the boil. So what you're actually doing here is bringing your milk up to the boil, also melting the chocolate at the same time. The chocolate has to be completely melted and dissolved before you take it to the next stage. It's a good idea to keep the milk moving so that it doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan. So you can see the milk coming up to the boil with the chocolate. At this stage, add in all the beurre manier in one go. Just put it off the heat and just mix in the beurre manier to the liquid. Just whisk it in until it becomes nice and smooth. Just put it back on the heat for about 15-20 seconds just to make sure that the flour is really well cooked out. And there is the starting of the base of your soufflé. Okay, with a spatula, just double check it right. Oops. Get right down into the corners of your pan. Make sure everything is nice and smooth. Add your egg yolks in one go. Put all the egg yolks in and mix those in as fast as you can, because the heat which is retained by the mix has to cook the egg yolk slightly, so it has more of a binding effect when you actually cook the soufflé. So mix this in again until it's nice and smooth. You can see the consistency. The consistency there is very, very important. It mustn't be too liquid, mustn't be too thick. At this stage, you can add in your Drambuie. Just fold this in. And for the time being, just cover this base with a little bit of plastic wrap and just leave it in a warm place until your egg whites are beaten. When you've got to about 2/3 of the way to a firm egg white, you can start adding in your sugar slowly. So basically just start sprinkling in your sugar. You need to add it in quite slowly, to eventually obtain almost like a meringue base.
4 ounces of sugar are gradually added as the whites are beaten to a stiff peak stage.
Okay, so is the egg white ready? Peaks, nice and smooth. Sugar's completely dissolved inside the egg white, and we can start putting the souffle together. So bring back your base, your souffle. Just add in about a third of your egg white to start off with. This basically is to just to lighten the mix. At this stage, you don't really need to be too careful. You just want to lighten the basic panada down. Add the remaining egg whites. And this is where you need to be more careful. This is where you really need to start folding the egg whites into the mix, trying not to break the air in the egg white. Make sure you go right down to the bottom, right down to the center, so that you've got a very even mix. With a ladle, fill the ramekins up. Right to the top. With a palette knife, just scrape the top flat.
Bake the soufflés at 375 degrees for 6 to 7 minutes.